Hi, my darling Cupid dolls. Guess who slept last night? I did. Finally. I didn't get to sleep until 2 a.m., but it counts. Ignore the fact that my alarm went off at 6 and I was definitely unable to get back to sleep there for a minute. But it eventually worked out. I got a little bit of sleep. My head space feels a lot better today. And get this. Get this. The pain is quiet. It's quieted down finally. These raisin and cinnamon English muffins, they're like my favorite thing. So good. So anyway, aside from having breakfast and doing a lot better this morning, that's all that's going on with me. So, the purpose for turning on the camera this morning, because oh my god, do I feel like tearing a pretentious fag apart. And as a fag, I reserve the right to use that word freely. Okay, so Jeffree Starr. Ooh, I can't stand that bitch. First of all, I've never met someone more fake in my life. First of all, I've not even met him, but through the screen. You know what I mean? I've never encountered someone so fake in my entire life. Like, and the way that he's handled the whole Eugenia thing over the past, how long has it been? No. What's it been? 2 years that he's been like pretending that they're best friends, and he's been totally exploiting her and making fun of her and making her the butt of the joke. And I know exactly how it feels to be in Eugenia's shoes in that situation. And trust and believe me, everyone thinks that she's clueless, but she knows damn well that she's the butt of the joke, but she's quietly swallowing it because she's that fucking lonely. I know, because I've been there. That said, Jeffree pretending to care and telling other people to stop pretending to care as if he ever cared when he clearly doesn't care beyond exploitation and personal gain. He's fake. We all know that he's fake, though. But I'm going to wreck him in a much more petty way. Let's get into it, dolls. So, I think that his fashion sense is boring. I think that all he's done is copied other people who have had success. As a matter of fact, I know queers in real life who actually have more fashion sense than he could ever even get at the bottom of a goddamn cereal box. And frankly, his wig looks atrocious. I know it's implanted, but still, I could snatch that shit. It's thinning. Maybe get that sought after. And the dye job? Ugh. Please. I'm so bored. Do something more interesting with your hair. God. And your makeup? Yawn. You think you're interesting? You think you're cool? Ooh, I own yaks. I don't give a fuck. None of us do. We all think you're an absolutely horrible, atrocious human being who only gives a shit about himself. And frankly, your style is fucking appalling, in my opinion. As a fellow fashion queer, that is. As a fellow fashion faggot, I want to say, I think that Jeffree Starr doesn't know fuck all about fashion. I think he's ugly. In his soul and externally, frankly. I'm sorry, but when you dress your external to represent your soul, and that's not to say that anyone who dresses like him is, dressing ugly. It's literally just to say He's got all that money for what? He could literally dress in any way, and he acted like he's doing something with the most boring ass shit. That's my issue. Acting like it's a flex. Look at me. Like, bro, you're not all that special. Like, seriously, chill the fuck out. Fake ass clout seeking bitch. Snatch that whole wig. What you gonna do, sue me? I'm genuinely quite pissed with him at the moment because of how he's handled the whole situation with Eugenia over the past couple years, just exploiting her and making her the butt of the joke. Because, like I said, I know exactly how it feels to be in that position. I am not a professional, and I do not personally know Eugenia, nor have I encountered her enough to actually give any kind of diagnosis. But from an autistic girl's perspective, I do want to say that she does share a lot of autistic girl traits. And the food issue actually can be a comorbidity of autism, especially if there's a sensory component to it. Like for me, there's a huge sensory component. So there's like very few foods that I can get myself to eat. So that can really fuel the foundation for a much more serious psychological problem to be born, especially when you already have the people-pleasing perfectionist personality type to begin with, which is also incredibly common when it comes to autistic girls because of how we're socialized and raised, compared to our neurotypical counterparts. It's the way we internalize things versus how our neurotypical counterparts actually process the world around them. I don't know why it is. I think it's just because of the way we're wired. But but yeah, so I know exactly what it's like to be so lonely that you'll let yourself be the butt of the joke just because you want to feel like you're connected with someone, because you're that lonely. You want to feel included. You're that desperate that you will wear the egg on your face, so to speak, just to feel connected to the human race, because you are that isolated and that lonely and that desperate to have friends. So I do believe that it could very well be possible that she could very well be on the spectrum. She does show a lot of traits that I see within myself. And that's why whenever, I think that's why I've taken such a shine to her. Like what all those years ago, it's like, oh, wow, this girl, she kind of reminds me of me. And it's just like, I don't know. I really, 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 don't get me wrong. I'm not apologizing for anything she's done. That's not my place. That's her place. I'm not here to excuse anything she's done. Again, not my place. Nor am I ignoring anything she's done. However, I am just saying, as someone who can relate to the pain, the emotional turmoil and all of that, as an isolated autistic young lady, as I suspect her to potentially be, and how much more isolating it is when you have issues with food. Oh, do you want to go out to eat? Oh, okay, where are we going? Chipotle. Oh, there's nothing safe on that menu for me. Oh, what about the Chinese place? Ooh, can't do Chinese either. So it's like, I understand to an extent, like, ARFID and what she's got are not exactly the same. However, what she's got can be built upon, like I said, this foundation of ARFID. When you have autism and OCD traits, and you also have ARFID traits, that already builds you on a foundation towards disordered eating for the rest of your life. Unfortunately, this is just the fact that you have to be aware of. So, with this foundation of ARFID, and then also the people-pleasing and isolation aspect of it, and the perfectionist aspect, and the fact that she's trying so hard to, like, fit into this, like, idea of what she thinks she has to be. In what her head is what people want of her. It's the people-pleasing perfectionist mindset. And it's like, while people saying they're concerned, sure, there's that, but like, they don't actually mean it. What they want is for her to be perfect and skinny in her head, you know? And so it's like, I understand, because it does, like, I understand because it does genuinely feel absolutely disgusting to eat. And like, even the safe foods. So I do understand to an extent where that foundation can come from. So when you've got that for your foundation, the psychological part that comes over time is very easy to develop. And that's how we see her get to this extreme low weight and maintain such an extreme low weight for so long. I think that this is built on a foundation of ARFID. I think that every little piece has lined up perfectly to create the perfect storm for this. Also, I'm so sorry for the giant seal on my nose, my chin. Sorry. It's bugging me. I swear to God, it's like a giant neon beacon. I need to stop looking at the viewfinder, but I need to make sure that I'm actually, like, in view. At least somewhat. Oh. Accidentally thrown away the pillbox in the night. Right, I probably accidentally threw away my vape, too. That's where that went. Suppose I can stop searching for it. Because I ain't found it any place logical, so obviously it's probably gone forever. But anyway, yeah, so, yeah, I know, I shouldn't be eating in bed. So instead, we'll eat on the floor next to the bed. But anyway, so, I don't know. So I think that what I'm going to do is probably produce some form of video essay, doing further research on these matters, especially probably going to include my own personal experiences with it. And while I will put it up on this channel, I will also additionally put it up on my reaction channel as well, because I feel like it is interesting to add perspective, and she is considered to be in the peripheries of girl world, even if she's not the bigger girlies of the girl world. She's on the other end, but still, at this point, a lot of the same reaction channels that react to Amberlynn Reed and Chantal do indeed react to her as well. And I don't know, girl world is my special interest. What can I say? Special interest is eating disorders, girl world, in psychology. I don't know how I ended up this way. Yes, I do. Both my parents are messed up as hell. Yeah, both my parents are super eating disordered, as you guys have heard from previous videos. And most of my family, actually, is quite disordered. It's so dry. We're having a bad sensory day with food. That's what we've been having for the past few days. But I got myself to eat this morning, which is better than I managed yesterday. Sure, it's a few bites. When I'm in a lot of pain, and that's the thing when you have chronic health conditions, to boot, it kind of also works against you. Oh. That'll sit over on my nightstand where I will neglect it for a little bit. Okay. That being said, remember to eat something, drink water. I only allow myself one diet soda a day, unless I'm feeling sick, in which case I will throw in a 0 sugar Canada's Dry ginger ale if I'm feeling nauseous. But I've only got 4 of those left, so I've been rationing them. And then the rest of my day, ice water. Look at that. So anyway, but what I was getting at, fuck you, Jeffree. And I don't think Eugenia is beyond help. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, she's beyond help, but I don't think she is entirely. I mean, she is definitely beyond walking away without long-term effects. She will definitely have long-term consequences for the rest of her life for what has happened with her body. Don't get me wrong, but I still don't think it's too late. Sorry, it always makes me... Okay. I still don't think it's too late, though. I hold out hope. I don't know. I do hold out hope. I don't think it's too late, because I've seen miracles. Like, yeah, I've seen people who were genuinely on the very brink of the end, and they managed to turn around. Yeah, they've got permanent health issues, but as a consequence, but golly, they're happy they're alive. They regret not recovering sooner, but they're happy they're alive. So they have to learn to live with what they've got going on now, but eventually they do come around and learn to cope with it sometimes. Some of the ones that I'm friends with anyway. I have a few friends who have had some long-term, and I thought that they were going to be like lifers, but no, they've had a lot of long-term issues digestively and health-wise as a consequence of the many years doing that. But yeah, my blood pressure is not regulating at all. Oh God. I haven't even done anything. I've not even done anything. I'm so sorry to like derail it, but oh my God. My vision went so wonky. I could peel my skin off right now. Like, I feel like I'm dying. Oh my God. Oh no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Mm-mm. I do not. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Oh, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's not my hair that I'm calling disgusting. It's the fact that it's touching me neck. It's like, how dare you? Don't touch my neck. Don't touch my face. I do not want you to exist. Not like this. Ugh, it's too, ew. I went from, like, being comfortable to, like, being, like, 1,000,000,000 degrees all out of nowhere. This is what I'm talking about. Like, oh my God. And now it's like, ew, I don't want my hair to touch me. Also, like my headband, it makes my bangs look funny. But golly, did it get the hair out my face? I'm opening this door. If I had more shorts, I'd change into my shorts, but I'm stuck wearing my trousers. Okay. I bet that was just my body responding to me actually putting food in it. It's like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, it's food. And it's like, and my body's like, well, now you're 5 billion degrees. And it's like, why? I've only had 2 bites. Oh, I lied. I've had 4. I've had half of it. I done good. Oh, I choked down half of that dry-ass bitch. I promise, normally I love it and it's very yummy. It's just this morning I'm having a hard go of it. I don't know what it is. I think that the past few days have been very hard on my body. But today's a better day. I knew it would be. I don't know how I knew it would be. I could feel it in my bones. There's only so much they can take. By the end last night, it felt like my bones were being stretched and pulled like taffy, but also with hooks in them, shredding them apart into fibers simultaneously. It felt like this was going on with my bones and my muscles all the way from my hips, from this point, all the way down to my toes. And it was the most excruciating, and no part of my legs or lower body was spared. And it was the most, I wanted to die. It was excruciating. I could not sleep. So naturally, my solution was turn down the volume a wee bit by smoking 2 bowls. And I got to sleep last night. And then I woke up, and because I got to sleep and my body actually got to do its thing, and I feel a billion million times better. So it's not something that I do all too often. I've been kind of dealing with this sleep issue for several days now, and it's been slowly cranking up the volume on that leg pain that I just described over the past couple of days as it slowly took more and more sleep until it finally took an entire night of sleep away from me. Until I got to the point of exhaustion where my body literally physically just shut down and just forced sleep. And not even a very good amount or quality of it. And so when I woke up, I was still exhausted and I wanted to throw myself into the sun. So yeah. Got that chronic cough. No, just a wee bit of congestion. My nose is all stuffed. But I've got jokes, though. I certainly have got those. But, so I'm doing a lot better this morning, thank God. And the weather has cooled down, and the sun is not out. I might even walk to the post office to drop off my Ancestry box to ship out. Yay! Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so scared. I'm really scared to find out that, like, everything that I grew up knowing is a lie, if that makes sense. Is that a weird thing to be afraid of? Is that something that we all fear whenever we send in our DNAs? Or is that just me? My dad's a rotten liar. I wish I felt better. I still feel the fatigue. But yeah. Something to look forward to is and I think that how I'm going to differentiate my video essays from my vlogs is literally I'm going to sit down, dress all snazzy, either in one of my vintage suits or in one of my beautiful vintage gowns. And I'll sit there and I'll be like at the desk, all put together, and it'll be titled and formatted in such a way that is very or more academic. It's not as much as more academic than these vlogs are. It's not as much as I would like, but you know, I'll have notes to reference. Hopefully in time my quality will improve just things are a little hectic right now. I mean, I'm literally living in the dorm during summertime, which I am so lucky to have the privilege to do, mind you. So yeah. I'm going to kind of wrap this up here, I think. This kind of like waffling nightmare turned from talking about Jeffree and Eugenia to, oh my god, what the fuck is my body doing, to updating you guys on what my body has been doing and everything and how I'm doing. So this has kind of been a long, all over the place mess, but regardless, like, comment, subscribe if you so please. I hope that you guys are having a good day. Don't forget, hydrate, take your meds, eat, drink water. Tell your friends and family how much you love them and appreciate them. Very important, that. So, that said, I'll see you guys in the next one. And I think I will, someone in the comments had mentioned, had asked me my opinion of Rosie, who has popped up in the peripheries of Girl World in connection to Amberlynn via Tommy, I believe. If memory serves, I haven't dug into the whole Rosie thing all that much. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and do a deep dive today while I do my crochet. So that'll be wonderful crochet fodder. And I will come back with a video talking about my thoughts and everything on that. Yay! So if you have anything else that you guys want to know, my thoughts and feelings on, comment below. Like anything you guys want to hear me talk about. Anything you guys want to see about, anything, just, let me know. If it's reasonable, I'll try my best. Yeah, I'm not making promises. I'm not going to be one of those YouTubers who makes promises that they can't keep. It's like, if it's reasonable, I will try my best. But yeah, no, Rosie, I will definitely be doing a lovely deep dive today, possibly also tomorrow, to kind of get a feel for her and to kind of formulate my thoughts and feelings. And I'm sure that those will also become more polished as time goes along, because my original deep dive on Amber, I came up with different thoughts and feelings versus how I feel about her now at this point in the journey. So I know that with time, my opinions will and almost certainly change. As is with anything in life, really. If your opinions and views don't change, are you really growing? Are you really learning? The only opinion that I will not change is that pink and yellow are the best colors. I'm just messing with y'all. But no, I don't know. I also really like green, though. Emerald. Girl, emerald. That's my mother's birthstone. Hold on. There we go. Will it focus, please? I hate that I have to do it this way. Will it focus? Will it focus? Will my Clada focus? If not, I will show you guys pictures. I will post it on my community tab. Hold on. Maybe I need to get my face out of it. Focus on the Clada. Please. Please, just focus on the Clada. No, it will not focus. That is blurry. I will take a picture for you guys of my Clada. But yeah, I'm very partial to emerald. It's my mom's birthstone. As a matter of fact, this month is her birthday. And then, so yeah, my 3 favorite colors as it stands presently, because that also is actually subject to change, whether I like to admit it or not. But it usually is always some variation of this. But as it presently stands, it's pink. In the past, it's been red. So it usually goes back and forth between being pink or red. I do still enjoy a good shade of red. Yellow. I do love a good yellow. It reminds me of my grams. Her house was yellow. And while that was not her favorite color was blue. In my head, yellow will always remind me of grams. It is the color of happiness. It is the color of safety. It was the only safe place I've ever known. So yellow is a safe color. I love yellow. It's my favorite color. And pink reminds me of joy. Just absolute joy. It brings me so much innocent joy from when I was like just a weein'. I don't know. And then emerald green, of course. I mean, for one thing, green is one of my school colors here. But for another, I really quite like it. It's such a beautiful color. I've fallen quite in love with the color green. So yeah, but anyway, enough waffling on about my favorite colors. The yellow one's not gonna budge, is what I'm saying. My opinions on yellow will never budge. But that's the only opinion that won't budge. The rest of my opinions, though, I do expect to change. So my opinions on Eugenia, even on Jeffree, might change over time. As I find out more, as they change, even as the circumstances and information around them changes, it'll, of course, one changes their perspective or their views or opinions when they learn and gain information. Or sometimes gaining that information just solidifies what they already thought and felt. But anyway, I'm so sorry. I have waffled on and I did not even I was like, oh, I'm totally going to wrap this up. And then I totally started waffling on again. I am so bad about doing this. I am so sorry. I need to do better. If I scripted these, it would be a different story. I promise. It's just, I don't. I go off the top of my head because it just feels more authentic, and that's how I do my journaling. And it just, I kind of do this in the same manner that I do my journaling, if that makes sense. And I think that's why it's formatted in this almost chaotic kind of way. So yeah, anyway, sorry my ADHD brain is all over the place literally every time I pull one of these up, but thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you guys are having a wonderful time, like I said, or a wonderful day, or night, or whatever time of day it is for you. Like I said, drink your water, take your meds, eat your food, and take care of yourselves. And like I said, just appreciate the things that are good. I know that the things that are bad right now can be so hard to overlook, especially when it's just right there, this big dark cloud over you. And it's thank you for blocking out the sun, fam. Boom, silver lining. Oh my God, I'm so crazy. I'm having a much better day today, as you guys can see. But no, there's just, even when things are bleak, we just must find ourselves the time to be grateful for what still remains good. I have my mom. I have my family. I have my friends. I'm not homeless. I'm allowed to stay in this dorm. Those are things that are good. So, if you guys could tell me some of the things that are good in your life, if it's not too personal, just some small things you're grateful for. It could be something as simple as the dandelions outside, which I find myself grateful for every year. They're my favorite flower. Just let me know. I think that it would be good that in dark times to remember things to be grateful for. And that's not to say to ignore the problems. We do need to also focus on solutions and working through our problems and working on solutions to solve what issues we face at the present or at any given moment in our lives. I'm not saying we have to ignore them and focus on what's good, but what I'm saying is it's important to not lose sight of what's good. I just wanted to clarify that I'm not preaching some toxic positivity type shite. So anyway, all of my little disclosures and wafflings and all of that aside and done. I hope you have a wonderful day, guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, I am bloody impressed. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, my darling Cupid dolls.